So increasingly, brands are experimenting with alternative uses for leather. But of course, the most common remain handbags. But interestingly enough, brands are experimenting even there, Vikram. They seem to be going in the other direction and finding new fabric.
Yes, there is a lot of experimentation with material across the board, especially in the luxury space. We've seen a lot of that in watches. But let's talk about handbags, because that's where we're seeing so much experimentation, so much buzz around that space. In fact, let's talk about the Furla, the candy bag. We've seen it not use leather at all. In fact, the candy bag has become so popular. We have the CEO of Furla joining us from Delhi, Eraldo Poletto. It's great to have you with us on the show. Do tell us, this bag, the candy bag, has done very well for you, hasn't it? Especially through your 2 years in India.
Our sensibility about color made the magic of classic shape, technological innovation, and joy, like for the colors, and made the magic. Actually has been very, very well received in India, in Asia in general, because it's a very fun, peculiar piece.
Give us a sense of your experience here in India in coming to terms with, certain peculiarities about the Indian customer and what they're looking for. What have you discovered?
I think the customer is very peculiar, very sophisticated. She has a very clear idea what she wants, and again, I think the key thing that we see is a very strong response to colors and the make and the decoration of the bags.
You know, Eraldo, the action in India is more or less restricted to the bridge to luxury space. Do you find that happening right now compared to the rest of the world, where India is more concentrated in that space rather than real luxury?
I think that what we call the premium segment is the segment that overall, I think particularly in India, has a great potential, because, okay, luxury is great, but luxury does mean by definition a very small segment of the population. We like the idea to be affordable for a wider segment of the population.
The other differentiator, Eraldo, in the Indian market is that consumers here look more for evening bags or dress bags as opposed to day bags, which Furla is known for. So does that restrict you in any way?
The very peculiar need of the Indian customer for the evening bag is something that is, I would say, is a great opportunity for us, because yes, we are much more focused on the day bags, but actually we are introducing more and more the evening bags or the crossbody bags.
Eraldo, compared to the past, Asia is now a much bigger contributor to revenues for companies like Furla. Do you find that the case with your company as well? How much Asia is bringing to the table?
Asia as a whole, including Japan, actually is more than 50% of Furla business. It's not necessarily that the product is being bought on their hometown or in their country, because a lot of the buying is done outside Asia, and in fact our company is organized to serve the Asian consumer outside Asia, and that is, I think, is a key asset that we have, even because the customer service is very different country by country. So I think that is the key, to look at not to look at the world by geography, but look at the world like consumer and customers. I think that is a true modern approach on the business.
All right, now Michael Kors and Furla are in the same malls in India. How's competition shaping up?
I think it's good that we are in the same mall. It makes sense. We are in the same mall all around the world, and we play against each other, and actually I think sometimes it's it gives to the customer a good reference to compare the product or the customer service, store environment, etc.
As far as your presence in India goes, you have a store in Mumbai, one in Delhi, another in Kolkata. But tell us now what the future is looking like. You're in partnership with Genesis, and you've already applied for a joint venture, and that proposal lies with the ministry. But tell us how you're seeing the future in this country.
The way I see the expansion is we have a great partner with a fantastic team with a lot of experience of this market. The opportunity are still to expand in the cities we're already in, probably particularly Delhi, Bombay. I think one of the limitations is most of the time the real estate and to find the proper mall center, but again, it's starting again with development in 2016 and 17. So we see it's going to take time, but we are here for the long term. And I think 5 years from now, we will be here talking about our great businesses and our great potential and opportunity was to be here to stay on the course.